Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angel and today I'll be sharing some more budget-friendly DIYs. For this first project, I'll be using some of these wood spindles. Now, I had these laying around my house from an old shelf, and I know not everyone has spindles laying around, so I did a little research, and you can actually get unfinished spindles off of Etsy for less than $5. I just went ahead and cut these down using my miter box saw. Again, it is linked below, and I got it off of Amazon if you are interested, but I did go ahead and cut one of these straight in half, and then for the other one I made them two different sizes. Now for the base of these, I am just using some of these Dollar Tree wood pieces, and I am just gonna take some of Dollar Tree's wood glue and glue these down. Now I did end up adding a screw through the bottom into these spindles, but that is definitely totally optional. Once the glue was dry, I just went in with some of my Waverly chalk paint, and I gave each of these just one coat each. Then I went back in with a Dollar Tree sanding block and I sanded over this where the ledges are, just to bring back some of that wood look. I picked out a few of Dollar Tree's bottle brush trees, and I'm just going to remove that little wood piece on the end, and I'm going to use some hot glue to stick these trees on top of my spindles. And that is it for this project. Such a simple way to upgrade your bottle brush trees. For this next project, I picked up two of Dollar Tree's 8-inch wood pieces and then two of their 12-inch wood pieces. Now you can obviously do this with any scrap wood that you have, but I wanted to show you how to do this with Dollar Tree wood. The first thing I did was go ahead and mark everything. You're going to mark from the bottom right corner to the upper left, and then do the opposite on the other piece. Then once again, I used my miter box saw to cut everything down. Then you can just go ahead and use some wood glue to glue together all of your corresponding pieces. Don't worry if the cuts are not perfect. As you can see, one of my larger ones has a little dip in it, but that just gives these more character. Once my wood glue was dry, I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree spackling and put it in a bowl, and then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of water to this and mix it up because we are going to make a kind of paste. You want it to look kind of whippy, like Cool Whip, because we're going to add this to a piping bag. I got these piping bags from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to scoop all of this into that piping bag, and then I'm going to cut the tip off. And I'll also be using one of these Dollar Tree Cricut spatulas for this project, and then I'm just going to go in just like you're icing a cupcake, and you're going to start putting little dots all the way across, and then you're going to take that little Cricut tool and you're going to start in the center and just pull upward to smooth it out. Then go right back in to make your second row by squeezing the little dots right on top of where you ended smoothing it out. Then you're just going to continue doing this all the way up all of your trees. Once you finish piping all of your trees, you want to go ahead and let this dry for at least 24 hours. After the 24 hours, I just went in with some of my white chalk paint and I gave everything a base coat. Now, when you're painting over the spackling, just be careful. You don't want to rub too hard. I am just kind of pushing the paint onto there, and then once I had the white base coat, I'm going to go back in with some antique gold paint, and once again I'm just kind of pushing the paint onto there. You can choose whatever colors you want for this Christmas. These are the colors that I'll be using. I ended up using some antique gold, regular gold, and then some of my copper paint to go over these. Now you can definitely just choose how much paint you want. You could even leave these white if you wanted to. Some of mine I added a lot of paint, and then some I just kind of did the tips where I had pushed that spackling down. And here's how they turned out. For this next project, I'm going to show you 2 different Christmas trees that you can make out of one of Dollar Tree's 12-inch boards. Now, you'll see me marking these, but the marks really didn't matter because I'm just going to use my miter box saw and I'm going to cut these down to make a Christmas tree shape. Generally, I was just marking kind of where I wanted it to start so I could see how many pieces that I would end up with. And out of one 12-inch board, I got 4 pieces for this Christmas tree. So I made my first cut, and then I'm going to go in right where the first one ends, and I'm going to make that second cut. And once you have that second cut done, you can go right ahead and make your third and fourth cut. Once I would cut a piece, I would just go ahead and mark the next piece and then just cut all of those down. Then I just sanded everything down before using some Dollar Tree wood glue to put this together. Go ahead and paint or stain your Christmas trees any color you want. I'm just using some Waverly Antique Wax, and then you can decorate these any way you'd like. You could just leave them plain if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use a Dollar Tree stencil and some of that spackling I had left over, and I'm going to make a raised stencil on these. I've done this technique in a video before, but if you've never seen that one, all I'm doing is just using that little Cricut spatula, spread the spackling over top of your stencil, and then you can just remove it to leave a raised design. And finally, for this tree, I am just adding a little trunk to my tree using one of Dollar Tree's wood pieces. Now for the second tree, I am using another 12-inch piece of Dollar Tree wood. I went ahead and made that first cut exactly like I did with the first tree, but for this one, when you make your additional cuts, you're going to make them just a little longer than the piece below it. Then once again, I went ahead and wood glued these pieces together, and once they were dry, I used my antiquing wax again to stain these, and I did the spackling over the stencil just with a different design, and here's how they turned out. For my final project, I'll be using some of these scrap 2x4s that I had laying around, but again, you can definitely use Dollar Tree wood for this. If you put 2 pieces of the Dollar Tree wood together, they are just about the same size. I sanded all of my pieces down, and then I'm just going in with some more of that antiquing wax and staining these. I did the front and the back of them, and then I am just kind of taking a pencil and I'm just drawing some trees as best I can, but you can definitely use a stencil for these, or if you have a Cricut, you could use your Cricut for this, or maybe even trace out some trees. But once I had the pencil lines drawn, I just went back in with one of my white paint markers and I'm going to trace over that. And then I just did the exact same thing on the other 2 boards. You could definitely dress these up with some twine or greenery, but I just left mine the way they were, and here's how they turned out. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.